I mean, we talk about team changes here, and we had another big one with Karma going to TD.
Oh, this is one of the biggest ones. I mean,
it's huge. It's absolutely huge.
Karma is one of the biggest names on the circuit for good reason. The guy is part of the foundation of that 2006 Carbon Championship team. They won here in Dallas in 2007. The guy is one of the most charismatic and electrifying players. Now, the interesting thing is where he finds himself. He's on Triggers Down, a team that won with Snipedown on that squad. That didn't work out because of chemistry, apparently.
Right.
So they bring in Macchio. Maybe a little too much of somebody trying to do what you already have on the team. That didn't work out. A poor finish, 6th place. But now, Karma, who a lot of people said maybe should have left Carbon a little earlier, may have found himself the perfect home. It looks like he's having a lot of fun with that squad, like they're gelling. And as we know, when Karma's comfortable and not playing beyond where he should be, he's dangerous.
I mean, but I'm sorry, Puckett, but he's been on Carbon for so long. Now, Puckett, what is he going to bring to Triggers Down?
Not only has he been on Carbon for so long, he helped be a founder of Carbon there with Shockwave and with Gandhi. You know, he's been playing incredible with Ghostayame all season long, but the rest of the team let him down. I was surprised that he waited this long to join up with a new team. He lands on Triggers Down, and that's just absolutely amazing for Karma. The kid's been consistent all season long, and that's exactly what Triggers Down is looking for. The core three, SK, Fear Itself, and Hysteria, they do everything right, but they've been looking for that fourth. They found success with Snipedown. They didn't find it with Macchio in Toronto, and I think Karma is going to bring some fun, some energy back to the team here in Dallas.
I got to agree. I love watching Karma when he's on fire. 2007 was a disappointing season, and he's a lot more like Snipedown than Macchio was, so I think it could be a great pickup for them. I think it could put them in a solid 2nd spot in terms of the teams you're going to be looking at.
All right, we're going to check that out, and it's going to be one of the teams that we're going to see tomorrow, and we're going to take a look at all the teams we'll see tomorrow with one exception. We'll see the empty spot right there at number 8, but we look at the Dallas Championship bracket and how it's going to the qualified teams. We see straight Rippin and Triggers Down at 1 and 2, Final Boss right there at 3. Ambush performed very well in Toronto, which gives them the 7th spot, and then we see the 8th spot right now. We're trying to figure out who's going to fill that spot. We all know that you guys have your predictions. I have my predictions. But we want to think and see what the pro players are thinking about and what their predictions are. And to help us do that, my man Puckett over here got out in the town, went around the hotel.
Who's going to win the 8th spot here in Dallas?
Legends is, no doubt about it.
Legends.
I'm going to say Legends.
Legends, because they have Legend Pimps at 2 them. You just got to dominate.
I'd have to say that Breaking Point's probably going to get that 8th spot.
Legends are going to work for it, and they're going to get it. Gandhi, my boy. Can't wait to see him get it.
Ogre 1, who is going to get the number 8 spot here in Dallas?
I'm going to have to go with Breaking Point.
Ogre 2, who is going to get the 8th spot here in Dallas?
Soviet, who is going to get the 8th spot here in Dallas?
Legends.
Gotta love the sun.
8th spot's probably going to go to Breaking Point.
Let me go with Breaking Point.
I think Breaking Point's going to get the 8th spot.
And right now, as you see, again, we're looking at Legends with the newly acquired Legend Pimps and Gandhi right there as well. And these guys are right now in a dogfight with Gotta Love the Sun. Now, gentlemen, Gotta Love the Sun is one of those teams that we didn't mention, not many of us mentioned, none of the pro players mentioned it in their predictions there. But let me tell you something, these guys are here to battle. It's anybody's game. It's only one spot, and they won it better than anybody else.
You know, I was actually really surprised. Only one player said, gotta love the sun, and that was Cloud. Cloud is on Ambush, the 7th-seeded team. So, you know, he's been around playing with some of those lower-ranked teams, and everyone else, all those top guys, they were saying Legends, but you gotta ask yourselves, do the pros really play against some of the lower-seeded teams?
And Ambush, you got to remember, they know a little something about upsets. They know a little something about knocking somebody down a peg or two. So I like that prediction. I mean, I was a little surprised to hear it, but again, we see them behind us, and they have definitely stepped it up. The other thing that I got to say is you see all these people talking about Legends, and there's a reason why. Between Gandhi and Defy, you have basically 2 of the most experienced pros who are out here in this arena fighting for that 8th spot. They've been to the championship before. They've been on top squads. Legend Pimp obviously is one of the most respected pros out there. He finds himself on that team because it was a little bit beyond his control what he had happen on Classic, but you like that nucleus a lot. You really have to like it. But again, when I heard that they lost their first match, I was shocked. I got to tell you, I was shocked by that.
But, you know, you got to give some credit to Legends there. It was their very first match of the tournament, and since then, they've just turned it on. They are heating up, and they're looking strong right now on the main stage behind us.
And I've talked to Legend Pimps over the weekend, and he said that's one of the key things. They have to get warm. You got to warm up for these matches. It's very important. But let's talk about Breaking Point. Breaking Point is out there right now, and they lost. They're in the losers bracket finals, and they're going to play the winner of this match here. What do you guys think about their chances?
You know, I was actually a chance to watch them more this weekend than I had previously. And I'll tell you what, they got themselves into a hole, fought back, down 0-2, and basically showed us that they can get over that hump. Then, of course, they ran into a really hot team. It went pretty far. They weren't able to win that last Slayer game, but they didn't slow it down, which is what I really like. We were watching that, and it's it's to 50. They're down by 5. It's 45-40. And they're like, you know what? We're not changing our game for you. I respect that because that says that they're going to win playing the way they play, and if they lose, it's because someone beats them when they're playing their game style.
And they stayed aggressive.
Yeah, the thing I hate is when somebody all of a sudden says, oh, I'm going to go hide. I'm not going to do this.
Well, Breaking Point doesn't do that. And, you know, their new addition to the team, Powweezy, he absolutely does not do that. In fact, when he has half shields, he's still charging.
No,
I love watching their new addition.
Let's not forget, he was nominated to be the MVP for last season. Great player, great player, and definitely stepped it up.
Definitely, he was the MVP of Chicago, and the kid is impressing once again.
And
here in Dallas.
He's young. He's still on the way up.
When we talk about consistency, one of the teams the only team actually who hasn't lost yet in this open bracket is the team who's taken 8th at every single tournament we had, and they want that 8th spot, Anti-Gravity.
Yeah, you can't sleep on them. I mean, you really can't. These guys there's a reason why they've gotten 8th every event. And, you know, I bet you these guys were thinking, why do we have to play for it? Why aren't we in? But, you know what, that's the way it's set up. That's the structure for this season. They haven't let it phase them. They have gone out and played incredibly well. And I'll tell you what, we were watching them a couple times, and honestly, Puck and I were both really impressed by the fact that someone else was stepping it up whenever they needed it.
Now, it was Severance and Tzoxic. They finished 8th every single event so far this year. And you know what? Those guys, I knew they would be solid. They've been playing solid all night long. But the two guys who really stepped it up, the two guys who were question marks in my mind, were Gunshot and Eli. Going back to Toronto, I watched a few of their games. Those guys were getting carried. I'll be honest. They were getting carried. But now, after watching some of their games out on the floor, those two are really stepping up. Gunshot, he is playing his best tournament of the season.
Yeah, Puckett is very quick to let you know if somebody is being carried. But you know what? He is also very quick to say, you know what? I'm impressed this person has stepped it up. We were looking at both Eli and Gunshot. Gunshot, especially every now and then, was doing things that were just making me smile. And you know that's because he's doing something good. So that team right now is sitting here scouting. Right? They're sitting there, they're waiting. They're going to say, you know, what's going to happen? Who's coming back up? They can maybe get a little bit of a rest in. So they have a bit of an advantage there. They got to be feeling pretty good, honestly.
And they're smiling.
And you know what else? And we're smiling too.
They said it earlier. We own 8th. Why are you going to make us play for it? We own 8th.
And we're smiling because we got a lot of great more stuff coming up for you guys. We know what's ahead. We want you to know what's ahead too. Coming back, we got Gotta Love the Sun and Legends right here. Stay tuned.
Last still open goal. Last still open time. No shield, no mind.
The 2008 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit, powered by Xbox, is presented by GameStop and brought to you by Bungie, Dr. Pepper, and Strive.